What are we talking about? Thank you so much.
First, we should do the intro, and then I'll tell you.
Well, this is perfect. Welcome back to Living Understaffed, guys. This is Sarah.
And I'm Erika. And we are... And we are... sucking at the intro as per the usual.
Again.
Welcome back to Living Understaffed, the podcast about not having enough hands or hours and when your best is just not very good. Sarah, how have you been understaffed?
Okay. Can I just say that just that question alone is enough to hurt my feelings this week? Because okay, so first of all, I went home last week. I went back to Iowa. I've talked about it a few times, but my mom has cancer, and we put her on hospice. And it was emotional. Of course, it's emotional. And it was really rough. So I saw her at Thanksgiving last year, and it was really rough to see how much weight she's lost just since Thanksgiving. And it's been, she's a bag of bones, a literal bag of bones. So like, it's hard to see, regardless of my relationship with her, it is hard to see. My brother came home from Hawaii, and that was really great. Got to attend their wedding. I was the man of honor for their little house wedding, and it was hilarious. So that was nice. Like, I felt useful in that sense. Like, I felt like I was needed. So I was his best man. I was her maid of honor. I was the official photographer and the ring bearer. And can we just, okay, on a funny note, because, life will out, as they say. Like, the life is going to continue to happen, right? So I'm standing there and I'm taking pictures, and I'm, like, our pastor is there, who is amazing. Pastor Ken, if you ever listen to this, I hope you never do, because I talk about my pastor. But Pastor Ken is like, he's the best man on the planet. Like, he's a wonderful human. And so Pastor Ken was there to do the ceremony, and he's amazing. And so I'm taking pictures, and I'm trying to, like, I have heels on, so I'm trying to, like, tiptoe on these beautiful wood floors, And all of a sudden, I'm standing there, and they're going to do their vows, and they're going to be, like, there's a moment where everybody's kind of like, aw. So then I realized I'm the ring bearer, or ring holder, if you will. I left the rings in the other room, and I'm realizing it as I'm, like, taking pictures. And so I was like, okay. In my head, I was like, just tiptoe out backwards. Nobody's going to notice that you're gone. But I'm wearing heels, so it's like click, click, click. And I'm trying to walk real slow, like real light. I got hips. I got an ass. There's no way that you walk light in heels with this body. So I was like, fuck it. And I turned around and I fucking ran to the guest room. I was like,
when you're like stomping because you're not walking heel toe like you're supposed to. Yes, been there.
And I grabbed the rings, and as I'm like running back out, hoping that I wasn't too distracting, and I totally was. And I run back out, and I have the rings in my hand, and Pastor Ken's like, so it looks like you guys already have rings. And I was like, yeah, they do. Extended my hand really quickly, and I'm like out of breath, like, I had the rings the whole time. What do you mean I left halfway through? Weird. It was a very funny moment, and it was lovely. So I'm happy that, like, we got to be a part of it. On the understaffed level, going home and seeing my mother in the state that she's in, and having questions and whatnot for hospice services, and seeing my stepdad, and he's a good man, but it just, seeing him kind of defeated, that was hard to see. And hospice is also in place for him as well. Like, he's I think he's in his 70s. He's getting up there, and he can't always pick mom up off the ground when she falls, and she's falling a lot recently. So, hospice services are also for him to come in and help, because he needs it, And they have chaplain services and they have pet therapy services, music therapy. She's going to get a massage once a week. Like, it's end of life care. And there's also some people who live on hospice for 5 years. So, I don't know. We'll see. It was very emotional. It was just a lot. I got to see my childhood best friend, Sam. So that was nice. We got to spend some time together, and her son was like my hot date at Culver's one night, and he was so cute. Like I think he's 9, maybe 10 now. Oh God, I might be really wrong on that. Sorry, Sam. But he's adorable, and he wears glasses, and he looks up at people over his glasses, he's just adorable.
That's so
and
cute.
Then he sat next to me at Culver's. He sat next to me at Culver's, and I was like, look at me, I got a hot little date. And he just got so red in the face. Like he's so cute.
So cute.
So it was nice to spend time with good people. We had like a bachelor party with my brother. We just went and got coffee the morning of the wedding, but we got to like just have some one-on-one time and talk, and it was nice. Like it was good, but it was pretty heavy, stressful, heavy emotional, and then I came back to work. I went back to work on Friday, and and I'm sorry to any of my students that ever listen to this, but one of my absolute all-time favorite students graduated on Friday. And he is such a good kid, such a good person, like you just have warm, fuzzy feelings when he's in the room. He gave me a book that is all like photography from his country, like for his military and stuff. And it's incredible photos. And then he wrote me a letter and said, you can't read this until I leave. And I'm like, are you trying to make me cry? Because it's working. I haven't even read the letter and it's already working. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, you can see his eyes starting to well up. And I'm like, if you cry, then I'm going to cry. No, don't do it. I'm going to walk away right now. I'm not even going to comfort you if you cry. Like, no. So, of course, he leaves. And 5 seconds later, I'm running back over to my desk to open the letter, bawling my eyes out. Such a sweet kid. I'm going to miss him. So that sucked, just for coming back from an emotional week. I probably wouldn't have been as emotional if I hadn't had the week that I had. Yeah. And then I slept real hard last night. I went and had margaritas with Viola because she's amazing and I love her. I'm actually going to Germany because she'll be moving back to Germany by Christmas. So I'm going to go at Christmas time and go to Germany and spend Christmas with her. I'm so excited. So understaffed, 100%. Have I edited this week's episode? Maybe 25% of it. So that's fun.
I mean,
yeah. But did I get social media scheduled for the next month? Yes.
Love that for you.
What a nice feeling. Oh my God. Yeah. So how have you been? How understaffed have you been, or have you been understaffed?
Incredibly, obviously. As usual. I've had plans every single weekend for the last month and a half, I think. So I haven't had any day that I can just veg. Because even on days that I took off so that I could get things done or relax or whatever, I still needed to get things done. So I didn't actually get to relax at all. And I mean, sometimes I do it to myself. Like yesterday, I hung out with some friends, and then later that night, I went out with my sister.
I love Emma so much.
I do too. She's the sweetest. And then next week I'm going out of town for work, and I'm leaving tomorrow. So I've actually finished all of my laundry. As we speak right now at this moment, 99% of my laundry is done. The only thing that is not clean is what I wore last night and what I'm wearing right now. Have I folded it?
No, I am in the exact same boat because we're recording a little later today than planned. So I went through and I cleaned my whole downstairs area, like, because dog hair is a real thing.
Correct.
So I cleaned the whole downstairs area, and I also finished all of my laundry. It's sitting on my bed.
Yeah.
And I purposefully put it on my bed so it forces me to do something with it so that it's not just going to sit in a laundry basket for the next 3 weeks. So, like, that's on purpose, because remember, we make our housework for us, not the other way around.
Yes.
It has to be a practiced thing.
Yeah.
It is not easy. But yeah, that's why I put it on my bed, because it forces me. Because also, I took off all the sheets and I vacuumed my bed. And for those of you that think that's weird,
No, it's not.
we shed skin cells every single fucking night. And so if you vacuum your bed, it kind of helps save the integrity of your bed. So you're welcome. Life tip. Enjoy.
Yeah.
But that's also why I put all of the clean clothes on the bed without sheets. Because then I'm like, well, I have to clean off the bed to put sheets on it.
Yeah.
You know?
Smart.
It's diabolical. It forces me to do adult things. But will I wait until the last minute?
Also, yes. I have just been, work has been really crazy because the other office that I support just got some new supervisors, so help bringing them not necessarily up to speed, because they have worked there for a while, they just haven't been supervisors, so really understanding their role and having a better understanding of like what we need them to do, and actually going down there, because it's like a whole bunch of stuff that I need to physically be down there for because of just like sensitive information and stuff, but also genuinely just like meeting everyone down there and like walking them through how to do certain things, and being able to answer their questions and stuff. And that is great, except I'm going to be doing that all day and I'm not going to be doing my actual job. And like, last week I was preparing for the trip this week, and the week before that we had an inspection, and the week before that we were preparing for the inspection, and then week after this upcoming week I'm going to be recovering from being away
Gone
from
for a week and not doing your job.
Yeah, so it's but I do genuinely like being busy, and I do like meeting people, and I like that is one of my favorite parts of the job, is being able to interact with the people that I work with. So I am really excited about that. It's a lot. And also I'm like, yeah, for sure, definitely going to start taking tap class on Tuesday, so I'll be dancing 2 nights a week.
Good for you.
Yeah. Do I need to add extra stuff? No, I do not, but I am.
Hi, my name is Trisha, and I am the Vice President of the nonprofit Casey Book Beat. We aim to connect readers with local literary talent, fostering a deeper appreciation for the stories that shape our community. Through this catalog and our local events, we want to provide a platform for authors, bookstores, and publishers to reach a wider audience and strengthen their presence in Kansas City. We have so many amazing events coming up in the year 2025. We have our Writers Workshop in January. We have a children's book fair in April, and so many more, including our Casey Lit and Libations in May and August or November. Love to see you.
But anyway, sorry, getting back on track. Only because you and I lately have just been having, I don't want to say boy problems, but just like men just not like letting us down, for whether it's because of our expectations or their expectations, or for whatever reason. I've just been finding men in general very frustrating this last 2 weeks, or
Agreed.
forever. Yeah.
Agreed.
So we are
Pick your
going to talk
poison,
about
honestly.
the things that we like about them when things are going well. Because we also briefly talked about that. I don't know, we were on the phone, I think. But, you know, like things that men do that are just, you just like, it just is like delicious, that you can only get because you are attracted to this specific man. And like you were saying, the tension in a room, Ugh.
Oh,
I am a sucker for that.
it is so delicious. And not even, there doesn't even, so, you know, particular human in my life, we'll put it that way. We've never, it's never been anything physical. There's like flirting here and there, but it's never been anything like that. The tension between the two of us is unreal. Unreal. Like, it's ridiculous. And then every time we're in the same room, I'm just like, oh my God, I need to leave. I need to leave because it's delicious, but it's torture. And then on the flip side, when we talk about current dalliances, if we're in a public place together, the tension is ridiculous. And it's like, I literally want to, like, we went hiking last weekend. I want to jump your bones in every single place that we're at because there's so much like chemistry and tension there that it's like, don't care that there's people around. I want to jump you all the time. All the time. But then to piggyback on that, like, it's like the nice things that men do, like the things that like make me want to keep them around, right? Is like the opening doors or like they're like so example, my brother, his wife, like, she is not necessarily old fashioned, but he does things for her, like opening doors and like making sure that she has her purse and her coat, and he like helps her put her coat on and stuff. So while I was home, I offered, after the ceremony, our mom went and took a nap because, you know, she's exhausted. She doesn't have any energy for anything, and she's not eating, so she has no fuel in her body. So the excitement was over, so she was going to lay down and take a nap. So we left to go take pictures. Dave and we were going to take my car. He ran in front of me to open my car door for me. And he's my brother. It's not anything like that, but it was still just nice that I was like, God damn. So current dalliance is also like lovely in that sense, you know, very complimentary and very like, he also listened to the podcast. So I was like, thank you. And gave a little bit of feedback and made fun of me. And I'm just like, all right.
I love it when a guy obviously finds you attractive, but he's like, it's sort of the tension thing, but like, you know, you're on a date or whatever, and it's before that, like he doesn't know, he's not sure, like he's not sure if he's gonna make like a move or not, and like I love that. I love it so much because it's like, and especially like some guys are really good about it. It happens when I get picked up at a bar sometimes. Like if you have really good game, like they'll specifically make you feel like you are the only girl in the bar that they want. And I'm like, I appreciate that. I do. I know it's not true, but I don't care.
Shout out to the men who have game like that. Shout out, because now, granted, it takes a lot of practice to get to that point,
Yes.
or you're just born with those types of what do you call it? Those types of charisma, right? That type of riz. Hell yeah. But it's also that I don't know. I haven't been picked up in a bar in a long time, but it's that I still remember having like the excitement of like someone coming across the room to be like, hi.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Or like, I'm getting you a drink. That is like one of the best moments because you know that person's coming for you. You know, like,
yes.
Yes.
And I like,
yes. Oh,
I love it when somebody makes you feel like you're interesting. Like, talks to me about stuff that I'm interested in, or like can like, wow, you're so like, I like these things about you. Because it's just, and again, it's just, it makes me feel like you're paying attention. It's the effort. It goes back to effort, right? Like when a guy obviously,
it always goes back to effort.
yes,
Always.
or like, I'm coming to the realization that like I don't really want to be emotionally entangled with somebody that doesn't listen to my podcast, because it's such a big part of my life. And if you're not a podcast person, like that's fine. You don't have to listen to every episode, but like it's important to me that you know what it's about, and and they know who you are and what you do and what I do. Like so those things are important. And like those things have precedence over a lot of other things in my life. And if it's that important to me, I want you to like understand it, even if it's not. And even as I'm saying this, I'm like, if it's not your thing, I'm like, if it's not your thing, then I'm not for you. I think. Because it's just us talking and being ourselves.
And I'm like on the fence with it, because I love it when someone new that I meet is like, oh, you run a podcast? Oh, that's so cool. You know? And while like,
it's your favorite child.
Just love her so much. She's a house protector.
She's doing her best.
There's
probably no one there. It's
what I really like.
Athena.
It was a mosquito fart. She was protecting the house from a mosquito, a bad mosquito.
Probably.
She's so cute. I love her so much. So one person that I met last year that we've been friends for the last year, like he's a lovely human. He doesn't listen to the podcast on a regular basis, but he'll tune in every now and then. Podcast, for him, it's just not his thing. But what he does is he goes on Instagram and he watches our reels, and then he makes fun of me for different things. And he says it. He's like, I really love that you have, like a creative thing. I love that you're consistent with it, mostly because being understaffed is a real thing. But like he'll say those things that I'm like, thank you. He doesn't have to listen to it, but the fact that he comes and gives me feedback later on down the road, I'm like, thank you. So if it's somebody like friend or otherwise, if it's somebody who's there and who's like giving me any kind of information about a hobby that I really very much put like my heart and soul into, thank you. You don't have to be a regular listener. You don't have to like leave us a fucking review. I mean, I want them to, but like, it's not like that. Like so it's not necessarily that they have to like watch every single episode, but the effort of like at least going and looking at our link tree. Or going and looking at one of our social media pages. Like that's enough. And tell me that you did it. Like,
or like when you introduce me, like, hi, this is Erika. She works a lot and she dances and she has I want which sort of caveat into another thing. When you're with someone and they introduce you like they're like proud of you or like impressed with you.
Activate praise cake.
Yes.
Done. Listen. Oh, okay. And I think we talked about this on a prior episode too, but the guy that I went on a date when I was in Hawaii, and he was like, you're super fascinating. Tell me about this podcast. Like, tell me, you work for the Army? Like, what do you do? He's like, you're a really interesting person. And I'm like, I know. Thank you for acknowledging that. So if someone's introducing me and they introduce me like, oh yeah, like she works full time and she runs a podcast and she has a lot of hobbies, but like she's here with me tonight. The blowjob I'm going to give you later is going to be one for the books. Like,
and it's going to start as soon as we get in the car.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it just, there's things that men can do that, again, it's not that fucking hard. Because we could get on our soapboxes about this, but it's not that hard to make your person feel like they either are the only person in the room or make them feel important to you. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
The bar is in hell.
The bar is in hell. Yeah, and it's
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, like I just want to, activate my praise king. Like I used to feel like, oh, it's gonna make me sound like, conceited or arrogant or whatever. Like, no, I want you to shower me with compliments. I make up for my terrible parents, please. I am the oldest daughter of emotionally unavailable parents, and I absolutely want you to help fill that void. Please and thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
Because it's not only like it kind of is a tit for tat thing. It's not like I want you to like shower me with compliments and then you don't get anything in return.
no.
If you're putting an effort and you're making me happy, even if it's just a compliment, even if it's just bringing me an iced coffee. Like the other day, okay, Meg Becker, spicy romance author, amazing
Smut
human
peddler.
being. She's one of my best friends on the smut peddler. She is one of my favorite people on this entire planet.
Mhm.
She is excellent. Okay. So she sent me a message on like Thursday afternoon, and she said, "Hey, your silence is freaking me out." Because she's like you and I.
Mhm.
We text all the
Yep.
time. Like we are constantly in communication. And so she was like, "Hey, your silence is freaking me out." I probably haven't talked to her in like a week. Didn't know it was a week. Like, my bad. And she had gone to St. Louis last weekend, spent time with Daddy Call, and they sent me a picture. Didn't respond. I thought I did. Didn't respond. So she texted me and was like, "Hey." So I kind of filled her in on a couple of things like with Bev and going home and all of the things that happened. She sent me a $10 Starbucks e-certificate and was like, "Girl, get some coffee. I love you. When you have time to talk, let's talk." It's little things like that like she made my whole day. She made my whole fucking day, and she's my best friend.
Mhm.
Like it's not that hard. So if you as a person, if you're my person, if you're who I'm dating and you bring me a cup of coffee from the fucking hotel, like from a Keurig, from the coffee shop down the road, I don't give a shit. But if you're putting in the effort to just bring me a cup of coffee, I am so appreciative.
Yes.
I'm so appreciative. That's so nice.
Yeah, and
So
you and I are also like naturally nurturing people, so it's easy to get, or at least for me, it's easy to get sort of wrapped up in the cycle of being with somebody who likes that I'm nurturing but doesn't return it in the way that I need it to be returned.
mhm.
And that's not like, oh, they're being a piece of shit. It could be that. It could also just be that we're different people or whatever.
Yes.
But
Yes.
like you want to be needed, but also it's like that gambling part of your brain where it's like you do this thing and sometimes they appreciate it and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're available and sometimes they're not. And it's like maybe this time, maybe if and I need to catch myself from getting, I'm better at it than I used to be, but like it's difficult to realize
Mhm.
what is happening.
Well, and we can also, because we could throw in caveat after caveat, devil's advocate after devil's advocate all day. The one thing, and you and I, we've openly admitted that we need to get better at it, even though we're better at it than we were 5 years ago. But communication is chef's kiss.
Yes.
Right? In a sense of like, like if a guy's gonna make the first move, right? My recent dalliance, I told him straight up, there are few things that I am still old-fashioned about in this world. You have to make the first move. You have to. Because I also am a very impatient person and I will jump the gun. And I do. I've done that in almost every relationship I've ever been in. That I jump the gun and I kiss them first. And then I always like beat myself down the next day that I'm like, it was amazing and it was spontaneous and it was lovely.
Yeah.
But I want him to make the first move.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's just something that I want. So I communicate that. Like I'm letting you know in advance.
Yeah.
I'm not making the first move. I'm teaching myself to be patient and be better about it. So if you want a kiss, if you want anything, you have to make the first move. And he did. And it was great. It was so good. So the fact that like I'm comfortable in communicating those things because I know that I want to be better at communication in general, not just with people that I'm interested in, but also with Erika and also with my family and also with the people that I work with. Like everyone that I come into contact with, I want to do better and I want to be more direct. So in that sense, if someone is okay, we'll use it as sort of a verb. If someone is activating my praise kink, I'm going to tell them that you're an asshole, but you are activating my praise kink and I like this a lot. Thank you. Like I thank you very much, right? Also, you're going to get thanked in other ways because now you've activated that kink. So like you're welcome. But the communication part is really where that comes in. And so if a guy is communicative with me, like Garbage Man, super communicative. The fact at any point in time that he was like, you literally have spent your entire life taking care of other people. Let me take this on. Let me take care of this for you. And I'm just like, okay. Control freak in me is like, how dare you? The emotional side of me is like, I'm going to jump you so hard.
Oh, 100%.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yes. And well, like the person that I was telling you about earlier, like he gave me a lot of compliments and I was like, those are excellent compliments. Please don't stop. And he was like, okay.
Never stop.
Like it's stuff like that I think it's like,
that's all it takes.
You have to tell them or they don't know. Like there are lots of things that men should know that don't know. I don't think that's one of them.
No.
So yeah, like if you have a specific way or a specific thing that you want, like you have to tell them. And I'm like that too. Like I admittedly am not like if certain things are important to you, like as a guy, like you need to tell me because otherwise I'm not going to know. Like if you feel some type of way about the fact that I have all of these other things going on and you don't communicate it, you just are upset that I don't make more time for you. Like you're going to have to do better. Or like, if you're upset that I am not good at being on time. I'm not good at being on time. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get better. But it is something that I've never been good at. Like I have ADHD. My time management skills are trash. So like if you are a very like punctual person,
I'm going to frustrate you.
I'm going to frustrate you. And also if you're like, hey, like this event, it is really important to me that we are on time. Okay. I will like, okay, this is extra important. I will like make, not that I don't normally make
extra alarms.
Yeah, but like put in an extra effort to do that versus, so it's like, bottom line is it's communication is important.
Yeah. And life will life, right? Like life will out. If people are too busy, if people have things going on, if you're double booked, and I'm making fun of Erika in that sense because she definitely double booked herself last week and I thought it was funny. Love you, but you did it.
I did.
You did. Anyway, but like life happens, right? And so if you communicate with someone like let's say, like for me, I have a lot of events throughout the year for work. If I communicate with someone like, hey, this event is really important. For example, KC Book Beat, Lit in Libations, Saturday, May 10th in Kansas City. Any of our listeners, if you guys are listening to this, if you guys come to KC Book Beat and you come and talk to us and you tell us that you are, you've listened to the episode, you haven't listened to it at all, but because you've met us in person, now you want to, blah, blah, blah. That is so like not just on an attraction level, it's just so hot to my creative brain that I'm like, oh my God, someone does like it, right? We already know that event's on the calendar. That event is scheduled. So if I have a person, if I communicate with my person, I want you to be there if you can make it. If you can make the effort to go there, I'll pay for the hotel. Like I'll I want you to be there because I want to share it with you. And then that person actually puts in the effort to be there. Holy shit. Holy shit. Right? Even locally. If there's something that comes up and like, let's say that I know 2 weeks out, I'm going to tell my person. But if it's something that comes up the day before and I tell them and they can't make it because they've already booked themselves or they already have something going on, I can't get hurt about that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's the day before.
Yeah.
But if I'm talking 3 months before and I'm still with this person and they don't make it, like, those are conversations to have. That's communication.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So it is an effort thing. It really is an effort thing. But also, you guys should come to Kansas City for the Lit and Libations event because it's going to be so fun.
It's going to be so fun. Another thing that I am an absolute sucker for is men lifting heavy stuff or like doing yard work. Ooh.
Oh my God.
One thing
about
my ex-husband is he used to work in the tree service. And my mom, when we still lived in Washington, would get like 2 cords of wood or whatever, like a whole bunch, right? Because she has a wood stove. And she would have Nolan chop it for her. If you think I did not...
Shout out to those wood chopper social media accounts because,
if you think I didn't sit out there in a lawn chair the whole time...
As you should have.
Oh.
As you should have. Absolutely.
Love that for me. Like, yes.
100%.
Or
it's even like if you like someone who works with their hands, right? Like somebody who builds a shelf, somebody who like sands down a shelf and or a shelf and like fucking puts lacquer on it or does something. Like, you know, even installing like new handles on cabinetry. I'm gonna pull up a chair
and watch you.
I'm gonna pull up a stool and I'm just gonna sit there and watch you. It's so. I don't know if it's like an adult level or like me being in my 30s that I'm like my levels of attraction are just so much different. But like, build me something,
or just anything. Like if even if a guy is just like checking something like in my car or whatever, like like let me just check this real quick. I'm like, yes.
Okay, but can we talk about how if either of us was a man that we would be attracted to each other?
Oh, 100%.
Because when I was in North Carolina, I helped you fill up like the air in your tires and like check your fucking dash of stuff.
Yes,
because I was like, oh no.
Yeah, one thing, like you have to be, if you want to be my boyfriend, if you want to be my lover, if you will, you have to be a better boyfriend than Sarah. You have to treat me better than Sarah. That's the bar.
Yes, that is
literally. If you want to be my lover, you have to get with my friends.
Funny.
The Spice Girls have been saying it right for 20 years.
Almost 30 years. Kill me. Stab me in the face with a rusty spoon right now. Almost 30 years.
Oh my God. Either way, they knew what they were talking about, clearly.
They had it right this entire time.
Or another thing that I just find incredibly hot is when men are, I find this really attractive in like any person, like just I enjoy being around people that are like this, but specifically men, because I'm attracted to men. When they are doing something that they're good at, like, or when they're talking about something that they're good at that I don't know very much about. Or I'm like,
yes,
but not, because some guys do it in a way that it's like, oh, you wouldn't understand, and I hate that shit. But guys that are just like talking to somebody about spreadsheets. Talking about spreadsheets, my spreadsheet project. And they're like, oh, that's really cool. Have you tried this? I did this. Like, just have a discussion about it. Love
Hot.
that. Yes.
Hot.
Yes. Or just like whatever they're doing. Like it could be literally anything. It could be baking or hooking up a sound system or putting air in your tires or literally anything. This shows you that the bar is in hell. Competence in almost anything you do is hot. Competence.
Yes. And not in a way that you're trying to mansplain it to me. Because like married guy did that.
That part.
Married guy did that where he would mansplain everything. Then I'm like, anyway, but like if you have passion about this is also when guys have hobbies, because when they can talk passionately about what they do in their free time and they really love it and it's something that they put creative energy into or they put physical energy into or whatever, and it's like that's really hot. I have a really good friend, her husband does jujitsu, and he's like, and forgive me for anybody that's in martial arts, I don't know shit. I took a semester of karate in college, so that tells you I don't know shit. So he's like 3rd level black belt in whatever practice of jujitsu. I don't know, but he has been doing it for a long time. For him, he has a podcast that he talks about jujitsu, and he travels around the world and he does all of this stuff. His full-time job is the army. He's a soldier, but he has a hobby and he's been doing it for years and he's very passionate about it. So when he just became an instructor, and so he has a lot of like posts out on social media that he's like, thank you guys so much for, trusting me with an instructor position and allowing me to like teach these new guys coming in, blah, blah, blah. People like that who have passion for the things that they do. Amazing. I love having, so like my friend, she'll talk about how she went to, North Carolina, or she went to Florida, or she went to New York to go watch his competition, or she'll watch him compete, doing whatever, or he's just going to be someone in the crowd. And she goes with him because he's like so excited about it. But on the flip side, she cross stitches. So like that's how she and I sort of bonded, is because I actually made her a website for her to sell her fiber arts on. It was kind of fun. Hey friends, let's talk about something we all cherish, our memories. Whether it's old family photos, home videos, or those special moments that define our lives, they deserve more than a shoebox or a cluttered cloud drive. That's where Forever comes in. Forever is your permanent digital home for preserving, organizing, sharing your most treasured memories without ads, without data mining, and with a guarantee for generations to come. There's a need to digitize old photos and home movies that have been stuck on that VHS. Forever makes it easy. Do you want secure private cloud storage? You pay once and you own it for a lifetime plus 100 years. If you love creating custom photo books, I definitely do. Gifts, coffee cups, blankets, keepsakes. Forever has the options that you'll love. If you want the best deals, join Forever Club. Not only do you get nearly 5% off everything, but you also earn free storage every 3 months and get access to exclusive calls with the Forever founder. So your memories deserve more than just a temporary fix or a thumb drive that we've lost. Or, I've even worked with a couple people that their external hard drives have all of a sudden stopped working. So let's try to avoid that. You deserve Forever. And the link is in the show notes, and we'll link it to this video as well. Good luck out there. Let me know if you have any questions. So for someone to have like a hobby or something that they're really interested in, even if, so like me, I have ADHD. Well, I think I do. Not diagnosed yet.
Not diagnosed, but peer reviewed.
Correct. For me, I went through pretty much my whole life phases of like, oh, I want to try this. And I do it for a few months and I'm like, all right, I'm done with that. And then I want to try a new thing. Do that for a few months and whatever. For the record, any of our listeners, this podcast has been a consistent hobby for over a year now, and I've stuck with it. So that's a cool feeling. But like, I used to play piano as a kid. So my next goal is to buy a keyboard and start picking up the piano again, because I love piano and I want to like reteach myself and play music and all that stuff. Like I used to play saxophone and I used to play the flute and I played the tuba for a semester. Like I really love music. And so that's my next goal for myself, is to get a keyboard and start picking that up again. But that might, fizzle out in 6 months. So for somebody, for someone I'm interested in, or, my person, whoever it is, if they have a hobby, hot. But if they try it and they don't like it, they still tried.
Yeah.
Like I think that's excellent. But I'm kind of a firm believer of like, we all need some vitamin D in our lives. And I am actually talking about the sun in this context. But like, we need to get out of the house every now and then. We need to, and I really like hiking. That's a me thing, but it doesn't have to be hiking. We can go to the park. We can take the dogs for a walk. We can do something. And so like, I was in a relationship for a long time, and that person like never wanted to go do stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just sort of disheartening.
Yes.
So that's more of like a me preference, I guess, but because there's other people that they'll, they sit in the house and they do nothing, and that's fine. I love that for you, but I can't.
Yeah, exactly. I need to, and it doesn't have to be like we're taking a, trip to Virginia every weekend, like, but I do want to plan things because I genuinely like doing things and getting out of the house and seeing, like, and having at least one physical hobby is I think is important for your mental health, but also it's just like having a hobby that doesn't involve video games or alcohol it's hot. It's also, I feel like, is a green flag, like mental health wise. Like, you're not going to depend on me fully for your like social needs and planning like, because I don't want to do that. I've been there already. I am, that is not the life for me. So just, and also like, I want to have somebody like to talk, like I want to talk about stuff. Like, it's like, if you don't do anything all day except work, and if you don't really like talking about work, like, what are you going to talk to me about? If all you do is like, for me, that's kind of, and also, it's nice to have time. Like, it's, if you're in a situation where you're living together, I need some time, like, to myself. Like, mornings are hard for me, especially if I don't take my meds immediately when I wake up, which I should do better about. Because my ADHD medication is what gives me motivation. And if I am not motivated to get out of bed and I don't take my medication. Anyway,
yeah.
I just
weird.
Yeah, right. I need to be able to like do my own. I don't want to have to like entertain somebody. I just want to. I don't know. I guess I'm just really independent, and I want the other person to also be independent.
Yeah. And conversely, still need me.
Yes.
Like, to spend time with. Still need me, like, still want that companionship. But I'm piggybacking off of what you say, because I think that having, like we're talking about, like having hobbies and having something outside of the relationship, outside of your job, is really important. Whether it's, going to the gym, if that's your thing and that's what you do every single day, that's still a hobby. That's
self-care. Yeah.
But self-care in general has to be a part. Like, and I think it's so hot when guys actually have like, it doesn't have to be like a self-care routine, but like going to the gym is self-care. eating healthy, or at least making healthy choices type of self-care.
Mhm.
Going to therapy, hot.
Very.
Definitely a type of self-care. And this is something that I used to get absolutely furious with my ex-husband about. He would never go to the doctor. And I'm not saying like go to the doctor because you have a cough or a sniffle nose.
No.
Like, I don't give a shit about that. But if you've been sick for 3 goddamn weeks and you taking Mucinex and overhauling your body with ibuprofen isn't working, go get some actual fucking medication. Like, go
Yes.
take care of yourself, because you're not only making yourself continuously miserable, but you're making me miserable listening to you complain about being sick, but you're not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah. That's something that,
So it's very like,
again, like I'm a doer. I am a doer person. I don't.
yeah, you are.
I don't want to. I only have so much patience to sit and listen to somebody complain. Like, that's for sure is a me thing. Like, that is for sure. Like, I mean, it depends. Like, you and I complain about shit all the time to each other, but it's like I'm doing this thing and I find this frustrating. Not like I call you every single day, complain about the exact same thing, and don't do anything about it.
Correct.
Or not thinking about it in any
Correct.
different way or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I think it's really, really cool when a guy has goals.
yes.
And I can't necessarily put my finger on it. Like, I struggle with people because, like, I'm a hustler.
Mhm.
I have 2 jobs. The podcast is also kind of a job. I also have the forever business. And like, I am constantly hustling because I'm trying to set up my retirement plan.
Mhm.
My retirement plan is to travel.
Mhm.
Like, I plan to be hopefully in a different country 5, 6, 7 times a year
Mhm.
minimum when I retire. I would like to do that now as an adult, but you need PTO for that.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I'm working my ass off now because I have plans, right? Like, I have big plans for my retirement. If a guy has goals in that sense, and it doesn't have to be retirement, it could be a 5-year plan, like they're trying to buy a house, or they're trying to buy a different car, or they're trying to buy an investment property. That's hot if you have goals. For me, I'm also trying new things on a regular basis. So if said person is like, hey, let's go try a new hiking trail. Hey, I don't fucking know. There's like a new investment technique to work on, you know, putting aside a $10,000 nest egg.
Mhm.
Okay, like, let's try. Like, for somebody to kind of spark ideas and it not just be me,
Mhm.
hot,
Yes.
hot.
I also, along those lines, it's somebody who, like, I'm very ambitious. I'm a very ambitious person when it comes to my job. I work really hard.
Mm.
And I, you know, like, I have this podcast and we both have ambitions for this podcast. Like, yes, we're doing this for fun, but like, if we could make this be something, that's also something that we're working towards. And
Absolutely.
if I'm with somebody, I want them to have the same ambition. And it doesn't necessarily have to be about their job, but they have to be working toward something, like have like
Something.
be actively working on something that they care about and are ambitious about, like whatever it is. Like, it can be your job. It can be like, oh, I'm doing all these things because I'm trying to like fix up my house, and that's what they're really passionate about. Like, they work and they come home and they like,
Yep.
you know, or they're saving money for a house and this is why they're doing all of these things, or like whatever, like they're going to school or whatever. It doesn't necessarily matter. I find people, this is definitely a me thing and it's going to make me sound like a bitch, but I am a little bit. People that aren't like that, I just find boring. Like, I just don't really find them that interesting.
Yes. It's okay. I'm sort of, I'm going to say that I'm in the same book. I'm not necessarily on the same page in that regard,
Mhm.
but it's more, for me, the way that I see it is it's more of, it's not necessarily that they're boring, but a person who is stagnant and they're comfortable with being stagnant.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it could be the ADHD. It could be just the neurodivergency of how my brain exists on this planet. But for somebody that goes to work, goes home, plays video games, eats dinner, and then goes to sleep, and then gets up and does the same thing every day, and then they just hang out on the weekends and not really do anything, I don't know how you live your life.
Yes.
I really don't know how you exist because I don't understand it. I have never, ever, ever. And just like Erika was talking about earlier in the episode, she has opportunities for downtime, but then chooses to do laundry or chooses to get things done around the house because she hasn't had any time. I do the same thing. And when I do have downtime, for example, I came home a day early from Iowa because drama. And so on that Thursday, my depression was like knocking on the door like, hey, bitch, how you feeling? Huh? Everything's good, right? No, it's not. Thank you so much. So I laid in bed the entire day, didn't put a bra on, didn't have underwear on, chilling, right? I ordered in food, which I never do because it's too expensive.
Yes.
But I ordered delivery, but I worked on the podcast half of the day. And I fucking, was looking at Forever Business stuff. And I had the day to myself to veg and do nothing. Now, did I take like 3 naps?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I eat food? Like, did I? So it is a form of self-care, but I was still working on hobby stuff and business stuff. I don't think that I've ever had a day that I just did nothing. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And I just really don't like it. Like I have had days like that and I just don't feel productive. And that makes me feel bad, which I know is not a great narrative to have for yourself, but that's why I'm in therapy.
Hey, this is why childhood trauma is a real thing. Because
right.
we've also talked about that too. That always filling our plates with something to do is a trauma response. And so do I need to try to do nothing and make it more of a habit rather than being like, ew, what is that? Why are you doing that? Probably.
Yeah.
But do I see that happening in the foreseeable future?
No.
No.
One last one. And this is my personal favorite. When you are like sitting next to your chosen boy toy, dalliance, whatever, or you're like have your leg on them on the couch, or they're like in the car and they like put their hand on your leg, like not in an overtly sexual way, but just like sort of do that like rub tickle thing that everyone loves. And they do it for more than 2 minutes and then immediately try and have sex with you because that is not the same. Like they just have like you're just watching TV and they just put their hand on your leg just because they want to be touching you.
Because they want to. Yes.
I love that.
It's a very small form of intimacy that like it gets overlooked by so many people so often that it's like, I want you to do that. Like I want to feel wanted and adored in that
cherished.
Sense. And whether or not it leads to sex, cherished. Like whether or not it leads to sex is not the point. It's the fact that like you're wanting to do it because we're both there. Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, that's it for us, guys. Thank you for listening. As always, we love you. Leave us a review because we love them and we check them every day. May 10th, we are going to be in Kansas City for Lit and Libations with Casey Bookbeat. We are very excited about that. Remember, like, our link tree will be linked in the show notes. You can find our Discord and our socials and our merch, which is amazing and hilarious, and everyone needs it, especially your conservative uncle. And we love you so much. And without you, we would be pining in some place.